Hi there, and welcome to a breaking news episode of SEO is Not That Hard. It's me, Ed Dawson, your host as usual. And today I just wanted to bring you the news that the Google Core broad core update for August 2024 completed yesterday on Tuesday, the 3rd of September, around about mid-afternoon UK time, so probably quite early US time. So we're now at a point where we can start to have a look and see what the results were like. So I'll talk about my own sites for the first instance. And yeah, I've had a broadly good update, I'd say. The main sites that I care about, because obviously with anyone who's got a portfolio of sites, there's a few that are the ones that sort of earn you the most money or have the most traffic. They're the ones you care about the most. And those kind of core ones out of my portfolio have all broadly performed well. I think in terms of traffic rises, anything between, I'd say about 20% up to, in some cases, maybe almost 100% increase. So for those, I'm quite pleased. The sites on the portfolio which aren't monetized, or the ones that have lower traffic and I don't really worry about quite so much, I've seen none that have had any kind of major downers, really. I'm just sort of scrolling through now. There's maybe, I know, one or two that have seen a drop. But again, they're on sites that really are solo traffic or have been partly abandoned that I don't really mind, and it's kind of understandable that they went. But returning to the ones that have seen rises, some of the ones that have seen rises have been quite actively worked on, and they weren't ones that had issues anyway. So it's just nice to see that work's been rewarded. But there's probably the one that's had the best rise, and is one that I care about, but had been hit. It'd been hit. I think its traffic was probably down about 60 or 70% over the past year. It never really got hit hard by any previous Google Core update, but it generally just atrophied a certain level. It was one that was still doing well and had good intent, so it was still getting traffic for keywords that were earning affiliate sales for it, but its sales had dropped, but not by as much as its traffic had dropped, if you know what I mean. So say traffic had dropped probably 60, 70% over the past year. Sales had maybe dropped 30, 40%. So, we hadn't lost all this, a lot of the traffic that had been lost was not high converting traffic. So, sometimes in those cases, you don't worry so much. But this time, this one has had quite a significant bounce, and it's had a good bounce in sales as well. So its sales have risen. But the interesting thing here is I'd not done anything in particular to improve that. So we've not really worked on it much for the past year. I don't think we've made any particular I'm just trying to think if we've made any. Certainly we've made no major changes. We've not done any content pruning. We've not done any content updating. We've not done any major changes. So therefore, I don't think that there's anything that we did that sustained those increases in traffic. And again, if I look down through some of the other in the portfolio where I definitely done no work on them in the past year, and they've seen rises. So to me, it's the gains that other people are talking about. And there have been positive noises from the affiliate community, from the niche site community, for want of a better word. There have been positive noises and people saying some of their traffic has come back. Now, maybe not all of it. I don't think, I've not seen people doing huge dances of joy and saying they've completely recovered back to before they were hit by maybe the HCU or other core updates. But, they're coming back and they're now trying to analyse, we did this, we did that. Is this what made the change? Whereas I'm looking at these ones of mine, which I did absolutely nothing on, and they've come back to similar or possibly better levels than some of the other stories that I'm seeing people talking about. I'm almost of the opinion that it's nothing that anyone actually did that improved things over that time. So for some of the particular sites I'm looking at, I know there's been no links or no major link changes on them. I know there's been no content changes. I know there's been no structure changes. There's been no real changes at all. And, they've still had some traffic on them. So people have been using them, but I wouldn't have thought any kind of particular user metrics in terms of how users are engaging with them would have actually changed much at all either. So to me, it just looks like Google's changed the dials back a few months, changed it back a bit, and I think is probably coming down less harshly on certain types of sites. And again, the ones I'm talking about here they're affiliate sites, they are informational sites, they're not e-commerce sites, they're not any other, they're not user-generated content site. They're not forums. These are informational sites monetized with affiliate marketing, some with ads, and they're not seeing any. Not anything has been done significantly over that time because I've not been concentrating on them. To be honest, I've been concentrating more on keywords people use, and I've been concentrating on the podcast and on some new developments. And these are not sites that I was actively trying to work on or improve or recover. So yeah, interesting. I think that so my impression, willing to be wrong, willing to see if other data comes out, but from the data that I see from the sites that I understand and know well, I'm thinking that this is not so much recoveries that people have done any work and anything special to do. I think this is just Google have just reversed their parameters slightly and maybe filtering a little less aggressively than they were previously. So they're just my thoughts. I will be interested to hear anyone else's thoughts on how you've been impacted by this update, whether you've seen improvements or anything like that. If you have seen losses, you have seen improvements, and you want to try and understand why that's happened, now is the time to go and look at it, because you can now compare data from what's changed over the past month since August 14th. Off the top of my head, I'll have to check. It might be the 16th, but that mid-August when the update started rolling out to yesterday, you now know that's your period where the changes were happening, and now we've got stable results now and stable traffic before, so you can now see where on your site those changes have gone, where those improvements have come, or where any drops have gone. So now is the time to start going and investigating those changes. So I've got other episodes on the podcast, so just have a look around on the episode list. There's definitely some episodes where I talk more detail about how to analyze your traffic after a Google update. So yeah, anyway, do let me know any input, any views, any thoughts you've got on this. I'd love to hear them. And until next time, take care.